NFL free agency has been quite the week so far, folks. And on this edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report, we are going to break down all of the Chiefs free agent signings so far to this point as we head into day number 5. I'm going to give you my grades for every signing and some analysis. And on top of that, I'll give you my overall grade at the end of today's show. And I got to tell you, just kind of taking a overarching view of everything on this free agency period, I would say that this has been a pretty successful free agency session for Chiefs GM Brett Veach when you consider all the factors the Chiefs had going in of not having a ton of cap space, with having some key players that they really needed to re-sign. When you talk about Trey Smith and Nick Bolton, among others here, I think that people can look at this and say, sure, maybe you didn't have some big name signing of sorts, but it was mission accomplished. Your number one objective was to take care of the key players that you wanted to keep and then try to fill some holes, which you did that, and position yourself to be in a spot where you're building a team in a position of strength for the draft coming up next month. So with that said, I want to know, before I give my grades, what is your grade for Chiefs free agency so far? A, B, C, D, or F? Weigh in the comment section. Let us know. We're continuing with free agency coverage here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report as we are bringing you every single signing here on the channel, from the biggest ones to the smallest ones and everyone in between. We're going to keep you up to date with everything happening here in NFL free agency right here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. If you love the Chiefs, this is the channel for you. You need to subscribe and stay up to date with everything happening here on the channel. And the best part about it, doesn't cost you a thing. You can subscribe now for free. Turn on notifications, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. To subscribe now, you'll be glad you did. The Chiefs started off free agency with a bang, putting the franchise tag on Trey Smith, who many people thought was going to be gone. And Brett Veach found out the news, like the rest of us. The NFL salary cap was going up more than we initially anticipated, and got the franchise tag on Trey Smith. I give this an A-. The reason why I give it an A- is because you don't have a long-term deal done just yet on Trey Smith. I do think they will get a long-term deal done, but for now it's just the franchise tag. You work towards getting that long-term deal done, but nonetheless, great to have Trey Smith back. A good first step in keeping him in Kansas City. Now let's see them get the long-term deal done. Nick Bolton is also back in Kansas City. This news coming prior to when free agency officially began on Sunday. And Nick Bolton, I got to give this one an A, personally speaking. He means so much to this Chiefs defense of what he brings to the table, and a natural leader. He's been so productive, and you put him on this 3-year deal, you are going to maximize his prime years when he should start to play even better than what we've seen the last few years. It's going to be great to keep Nick Bolton around there. Marquise Hollywood-Brown, he returns to Kansas City after we didn't see him a whole lot in 2024 with the injuries that he suffered. And I'll give this grade a B+, because you didn't spend a ton, $11 million, and you don't know if he can stay healthy. But if he can add that vertical threat that we didn't see too much of and be similar to what we saw a few years ago in Arizona and in Baltimore, then that's going to be a nice fit for this Chiefs offense, especially with Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy here. I'm excited about Hollywood-Brown. I know you've had some concerns about the wide receiver position, but this makes things feel a lot better to at least know that Hollywood-Brown is coming back into the fold. Kristian Fulton signs with the Kansas City Chiefs, coming over from the LA Chargers, and now you have some flexibility at the corner position. There's already some rumblings that Trent McDuffie could be moving back to the nickel spot and start Fulton and Watson as your outside corners. I like this move to bring in Kristian Fulton here and to have a quality starter that you didn't break the bank for either. I think this makes a ton of sense for Kansas City, and Spags has got to be happy. This signing has Spags' name written all over it with getting those corners. That's one thing that has changed in this Chiefs defense since Spag took over, the emphasis on the corner position. Fulton is a natural fit in zone coverage with what Spags wants to do. What's your favorite Chiefs signing? If you had to pick one, who would it be? No wrong answers here. Just want to know what your favorite is. Get in that comment section and let us know. Chiefs Polos are on sale now for up to 50% off at chatsports.com/Chiefs Polos. We have the red, we got the gray, we got the stripe version. We have plenty of others as well on our website. Go to that link right now, chatsports.com/Chiefs Polos, to get yours today. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. That's chatsports.com/Chiefs Polos to get yours now. Check them out. You'll be glad you did. Let's continue now. The other big signing outside free agent was Jaylon Moore, coming over from the San Francisco 49ers, where he was the backup to Trent Williams, and now he'll take over as the starting left tackle. Experience at guard and the tackle spot, $15 million a year for Jaylon Moore. I'll go B+ on this signing. I'm optimistic about this, and if he plays at the level for a full season to what we saw of the small sample size of what he did previously in San Francisco, then $15 million a year could be a bargain. But there is a great unknown that's still there with bringing in a guy that has not been a full-time starter before. So I'll go B+ there. Elijah Mitchell. A lot of people have criticized this signing, the fact that he was out all of last year, has not played since 2023, and that his numbers have gone down year by year since his rookie campaign. I'm going to give this a C. This is not one of my favorite signings the Chiefs have made, but you could have done a whole lot worse. And on top of that, the Chiefs, in all likelihood, are going to use a day 3 pick on a rookie running back, so they'll get the chance to compete with Elijah Mitchell in that running back room, and you'll have some depth there, and he's got some raw speed. He's got fresher legs than Kareem Hunt does. I'll go with a C there. Gardner Minshew also signed with the Kansas City Chiefs. He will be your new backup quarterback, replacing Carson Wentz. And I got to tell you, this one makes a lot of sense for Kansas City to go with a guy that has plenty of starting experience, somebody that is well-liked, well-respected. Minshew mania. We know about the Uncle Rico look and everything there. Gardner Minshew's an A for me. And I think back to what he did in 2023 with the Indianapolis Colts with Anthony Richardson got hurt. He stepped up, did a really good job. They nearly made the postseason. If, God forbid, something happens to Patrick Mahomes, your season isn't completely over if you have to turn to Gardner Minshew, and that's what you're looking for in a backup quarterback. Robert Tonyan ends up in Kansas City. He was on the Chiefs practice squad at the end of last season and adds to the tight end room. He didn't really do much in 2024. I'm going to go with a B- on Robert Tonyan. And the reason why I'm going to go with a B- here is that although he hasn't done a ton as of late, there was one season he had in Green Bay that was absolutely outstanding. He had a really good, solid 1 year. And if that's going to be my number 4 tight end, then that's pretty good, I would say. Now, is he going to make the team? That remains to be seen. But if we're talking about guys competing for a roster spot, that's not a bad player to choose from to get the chance to compete there. Cole Christiansen also signs, another kind of smaller name of sorts. He's been known as being kind of a good locker room guy, good pedigree coming from Army. I'm going to go with a C on him. Not the most exciting signing, but doesn't really hurt you either to bring him back. Malik Herring is back as well. The 27-year-old played in 12 games last year with 12 tackles, 1 TFL, and 3 QB hits. Not an earth-shattering move by any stretch, but not a bad one. We'll go with another C there. And then, last on the list, our buddy James Winchester is back. The Chiefs long snapper gets a 1-year, $1.5 million deal. He's been one of the best long snappers in football, and he's been very well liked by his teammates. And he is now the longest running special teams player with this Kansas City Chiefs team. I'm going to go an A on James Winchester. I have nothing negative to say whatsoever when it comes to James Winchester. So now we've gone through all the grades. I'll give my overall grade in a moment. Want to hear from you guys. How would you grade Chiefs free agency so far to this point? Give me your grade, A, B, C, D, or F. Weigh in the comments section. Let us know what your grade is. Chime in and tell me what that is in the comments section. My overall grade, I'm going to go with an A here. Mission accomplished for Brett Veach. All things considered, of all the obstacles that were in this team's way, they capitalized on this circumstance, this situation that they were in. I thought Brett Veach made the most of what was ahead of them. Now, I'll say this. When we talk about this team didn't have a whole lot of cap space, a whole lot of money to spend, they did put themselves in this situation. But with that in mind, they didn't make any excuses, and they made it work. And to me, I think that this team has a chance to now, with these moves and maybe some trades and what's coming in the draft, to have an even better roster than what they did in 2024. And a lot of folks were saying going into this offseason that the Chiefs were positioning themselves to take a step back. And right now, it doesn't feel that way at all that the Chiefs are going to take a step back. I think that there's a pretty decent chance that they are going to be an even better team than what they were in 2024 as they try to pursue another Super Bowl title here for Patrick Mahomes and company. For continuing Chiefs coverage, subscribe now to the Kansas City Chiefs Report. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Subscribe now, youtube.com/ChiefsTV.